All right, a YouTube Niner Empire. The 49ers worked out veteran cornerback Dontae Johnson today, who's a familiar face, actually. He was drafted by the Niners in the 2014 NFL Draft. He was with us from 2014 to 2017. He then had stints with the Seahawks, the Cardinals, the Chiefs, the Bills, the Chargers. I think I'm missing one. But then he returned to the Niners in 2019 during the 49ers Super Bowl run, and he was with us all the way up until last season. Excuse me. I'm not surprised that they worked him out. You know, the 49ers' biggest need on their team is cornerback, and, you know, clearly if they sign him, it's going to be something that's a depth move. It's going to be like kind of like an insurance option. Obviously, I made a video about this last week, but Darrell Luter Jr. and Samuel Womack are expected to return soon. Their practice windows have been opened. It doesn't mean they're cleared to start practicing, but it's obviously a step in the right direction. Womack has been on injured reserve since week 1 with a knee injury. And then obviously with Luter Jr., who's a rookie this year, we haven't been able to see what he can do, but clearly, I mean, I've been hearing great things about Darrell Luter Jr. There's a reason the Niners drafted him, this and that. But Luter Jr. suffered a knee injury during off-season workouts that immediately put him on the reserve/unable to perform list. But they did open the practice windows, as well as Robert Beal Jr., who's also an intriguing young 49ers rookie that we haven't been able to see anything from him yet due to injuries. But look, I mean, again, with the Niners working out Dontae Johnson, it's not surprising. He's a familiar piece. He is familiar in this system. Again, been with the Niners for a very long time. He is 31 years old, so he's clearly, been around for some time now and is a clear veteran. But look, I mean, with the 49ers struggling secondary, they have to be looking at corners and working out and trying to add depth at that position. So it's not a surprising move that they worked him out. With Dontae Johnson too, that was, he did a lot of things that pissed off a lot of Niners fans, including myself, like blowing coverages and the whole 9 yards. But there was actually times where Dontae Johnson performed very well for the Niners. So, to be honest, if there was one word to describe Dontae Johnson's tenure with the Niners, I would definitely have to say inconsistency. That may sound a little harsh, but that's simply just how his career kind of worked out for the Niners. But again, he's a veteran piece. He can help the young 49ers secondary as well. He's a guy that's familiar with the system, familiar with Coach Kyle Shanahan and the entire team. Like I said, I mean, he was with us from 2019 all the way up until last season. So the 49ers should be working out veteran quarterbacks, and I'm not surprised that they worked out Dontae Johnson. If you were to ask me if there was one player on the Niners, or if there was one cornerback out there that the 49ers would work out, I mean, I would probably, Dontae Johnson's name would probably be in that conversation. He's just, again, familiar, veteran. He understands the system, and again, I mean, it would be a depth move. He'd probably be signed to the practice squad if I would have to guess. And it also could be a move too, where they just sign him until Samuel Womack and Luter Jr. come off of, or I guess come back and start practicing and get healthy, of course. So with Womack too, I think a lot of Niners fans forget he had a very promising rookie year, like a very, very promising rookie year. Looking back at his rookie year, with Samuel Womack, he had a very promising rookie year to the point where I think a lot of Niners fans probably thought he would be a good long-term option, a safe long-term option. He's a very physical corner. He's not the tallest corner, but he's very physical. He's a smart player as well. And, yeah, it's going to be huge when the Niners get him back and healthy and he can return, because clearly Samuel Womack is a guy on the 49ers that could come in and immediately help this secondary out. So I have high hopes for Samuel Womack as well as Darrell Luter Jr., even though we haven't seen anything at all from Luter Jr., considering he was injured in the offseason. But again, with the Niners working out Dontae Johnson, it's a veteran guy who's familiar with the team. He gets the locker room. He's been mainly with the 49ers over his career, and with a banged up and very inconsistent secondary right now, it's not surprising, that the 49ers are working out one of their former players, to add to a position on the team in which is probably the weakest on the team. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. Again, they haven't signed him yet. They just worked him out. I believe I already said this, but he is 31 years old as well. So he's a veteran guy. He's more of an older player. Again, been around the league for a long time. But as far as it being surprising, it's not. It would be a depth move, of course. But we'll see what happens. I mean, again, with Womack and Luter Jr. coming back, it could be a move where they sign Dontae Johnson to the practice squad, to help out with depth at that position until guys like Womack and Luter Jr. return.